From the studios at Bossier Parish Community College, this is BPCC News.
Hi, I'm Caleb Moore.
And I'm Miranda Mahmood. Thank you for tuning in to BPCC News.
The Cavalier Express student recruiting team is sponsoring their annual Turkey Buck raffle. You can enter today for a chance to win a turkey dinner and all the fixings. Entries are $1 per feather and may be purchased in the Office of Recruiting in Building A, Room 133. Office hours are 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The winner will be drawn on November 18th at 11 a.m.
Sigma Kappa Delta, the National English Honor Society for two-year colleges, will hold its fall 2016 induction ceremony today at 2 p.m. in Building F, Room 203. There are 27 new members this semester, so if your schedule allows, please join in on congratulating these students.
The BPCC Chamber Choir and Singers will present their fall concert at 7:30 p.m. tonight in the BPCC Performing Arts Theater located in Building C. The ensembles will perform both traditional choir repertoire and several seasonal selections. This concert is free and open to the public. Many of the students enrolled in the ensembles are full tuition music scholarship recipients. Auditions for BPCC Music Scholarships are held periodically throughout the year. For more information, contact Dr. Michael D. Hart at 318-678-6146. With fall in the air, everyone is thinking of the holidays and food. Miranda, what's your favorite holiday food?
You know, that's a really tough one because I am a big fan of holiday food, but I would have to say you can't go wrong with pumpkin pie.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's go ahead and check in with some BPCC students to see what their favorite holiday foods are.
My favorite holiday probably is Thanksgiving because that's when most of my family can come together, and it's all a lot of fun because we sit around and we eat lots of food and we play games.
My favorite holiday is Halloween, and it's because I like scary things, like spooky things.
I would have to say is Thanksgiving. I like the weather, I like the camaraderie, I like the familyship, and I like to eat.
My favorite holiday is pretty much, I would say Christmas, so I can just hang out with the family and have a good laugh and play games and do Christmas dinner at my auntie's house.
Christmas is my favorite holiday, has to be because of the birth of Christ.
My favorite holiday is Christmas because I get a bunch of presents.
My favorite food for Thanksgiving is sweet potato pie.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is stuffing.
And my favorite Thanksgiving food is pumpkin pie.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is dressing.
My favorite Thanksgiving food would be the ham on the side with the turkey.
My favorite food for Thanksgiving is collard greens.
Looks like we're getting a little cool down this weekend.
After the break, we'll check in with Terry Hawkins for this week's forecast.
I didn't want to talk. She just sat with me. That was all I really needed.
Coming, Mark?
We got back, and of course we went to different cities. One day he called me out of the blue, and it's comforting to know that I always can count on him to have my back.
We hadn't talked for a while, and then she texted me, and we went for a walk.
She called me from time to time. I really didn't think I needed any help.
I was away from my family during the holidays, and a friend invited me to their house for dinner. It really meant a lot.
He knew I was having a rough week, so he asked me to go fishing with him.
My friend knew that I didn't want to go out, so she brought me dinner instead.
It took me from being really depressed to feeling like somebody cared. It gave me some hope. Just that one text.
Be there. Your call, your presence, your words, your support. Be there and help save a life.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Khe-Sanh. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
Hello, welcome back to another BPCC Weather. I'm your host, Terry Hawkins. Now let's go check out today's forecast. As you see over here, we have 69 in Marshall. Down here is 68 in Nacogdoches. Up here, 69 in Texarkana. In the middle is 68 in Bossier and Shreveport. Moving over here, we have a 71 in Minden, 68 in Reston, and finally a 66 in Natchitoches. Now let's go check our 5-day forecast, see what's on our way. Okay, as you see right here, it's cloudy, no chance of rain on Friday, 72 for the high, 56 for the low. Saturday, no chance of rain also, 68 for the high, 50 for the low. And Sunday, 68 for the high, 44 for the low. Starting next week off, again, cloudy, no chance of rain, 74 for the high, 49 for the low. And finally on Tuesday, clear skies, no chance of rain, 74 for the high, 53 for the low. Well, that is all from me. I am Terry Hawkins. Back to the news desk.
November 11th, we observe Veterans Day to honor those who serve the United States Armed Forces. Many restaurants and businesses offer free meals and special discounts to veterans today. On Sunday, November 13th, the Veterans Weekend Celebration Committee presents the Veterans and Military Appreciation Day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the State Fair. All active, retired, and former military and their families will receive free parking and free gate admission to the State Fair all day.
Speaking of the State Fair, this is the final weekend of the largest livestock show and carnival in the state. If you haven't been or would like to go again, step right up for delicious food, fun, and games. The fair ends on November 13th at 10 p.m. and for more information, visit statefairoflouisiana.com.
Local high school football playoffs start tonight.
Plus, we have an update on who will be starting at quarterback for the Cowboys this Sunday. Now let's check in with Greg Johnson for the latest in sports.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in for BPC Sports. I'm Greg Johnson. BPC men's basketball team will compete in the Southern Classic tonight. They will be taking on Arkansas Baptist College. And then the Lady Cavs will hit the road tomorrow to Eunice, Louisiana to take on the Louisiana State of Eunice. And tip-off will be at 4 o'clock p.m. Well, if the election is still have you stressed out, well, it is decision time for the Dallas Cowboys at quarterback. Tony Romo returned to practice on Wednesday, but according to ESPN, Romo is not expected to be the starter on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Harden's product, Dak Prescott, will remain the Cowboys starter against the Steelers. He has Dallas a stop to the NFC win with a 7-1 record, and the Cowboys can match the team's records on Sunday with the 8th straight win. Prescott has 12 touchdowns and two interceptions and has run for 4 touchdowns. Cowboys will take on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday at 3:25 p.m. on Fox. Well, it is that time again. It's playoff time, baby, for the high school football season. The road to the Superdome. Local teams around the area has a chance to prove they're the best team in the state. It's simple, win or go home. Let's get right to it. Here are some local teams who are playing tonight. Captain Shreve versus Parkway, Dearborn Woods versus Arcadia, Ringo versus Renato, South Cameron versus Plain Dealing, Airline versus Soper, Del Charter versus Homer, Richwood versus North Webster, Lorraine's versus North DeSoto, Cecilia versus Woodlawn, Mansfield versus Northwest, and Rayville versus Northeast, BT Dub versus Gina, Holy Cross versus Evangel, Bird versus St. Augustine, AJ Ellender versus Benton, Halton versus John Art, Washita Christian versus Calvary, and Franklin Parish versus Minden. Wow, a lot of games tonight, guys. Good luck to all teams tonight for the 2016 high school football postseason. Once again, guys, I'm Greg Johnson with BPCC Sports. Hope you have a blessed weekend. Until next time, back to the news desk.
Thanks, Greg. And after the break, we'll check in with Cody Vaughn to take a look at what happened on this day in history.
a promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A covenant that split the skies over Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Quezon. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another segment of Today in History. My name is Cody Vaughn, and I'll be your host for today, November 11th. So, let's get started. First up on this day in history, in 1851, the telescope was patented. Alvin Clark, who was an American astronomer, patented the telescope. Second, in 1889, America gains another state. Washington is admitted as the 42nd state of the United States of America. Then, in 1994, Microsoft founder Bill Gates buys Leonardo da Vinci's Codex for $30,800,000. For most, that's rather expensive, but Bill Gates is a billionaire after all. And lastly, today is a holiday as well. For those of you who are unaware, today is Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a public holiday held on the anniversary of the end of World War I. This day is also to honor United States veterans and victims of all wars. So if you come across a veteran today, show your appreciation towards them, and to all veterans watching, thank you for your service. Now on to the next topic, celebrity birthdays. First off, we have the very talented Leonardo DiCaprio, who is turning 42 today. Second, we have YouTube star Onision, who is turning 31. Lastly is movie actress Demi Moore, who is turning 54. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a great weekend. Now back to the news desk.
Once again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning into the BPCC News. I'm Caleb Moore.
And I'm Miranda Mahmood. Be sure to stay tuned for a taste of BPCC.
And I wanna be